So through backroom deals, the Liberals just secured a majority government. So what does that mean for Canadian gun owners? Unfortunately, it's not really good news. So most of the gun laws that are currently being upheld through the bans, everything like that, were done via OIC. Most of the stuff that was passed under a minority government. So what is an OIC? An OIC is kind of similar to an executive order in the States, where it's just signed into law. In the States, it would pass through Congress. In here, it would pass through Parliament and get debate on it. Essentially, none of that happens. It's signed into law, and most of the gun bans now are being upheld with the OIC powers of the government that implemented them, so the Liberal cabinet. So in the future, if another government wanted to, they could roll all of that back just as easily as they were signed into order. So most of the stuff was done via OIC, with the exception of C-21, which froze handguns and created more red flag laws, and also there was some magazine laws stuffed into C-21, but that is actual law itself. That isn't just OIC. So if I was going to make a prediction, I wouldn't expect big moves on the chessboard. I'm going to expect more small administrative stuff, but with the majority power, I'm going to expect more laws and not just OICs. I would expect at the forefront, magazine laws and also stuff with accessories. So the government has seemed very, very apprehensive about touching the SKS. It's always been speculated that it's been like they were always gunning for the SKS, but with this, I think they can make more moves, like banning certain accessories for the SKS, like stocks or magazines or just stuff like that. More of the accessory stuff, and with that, it brings them an advantage of you can ban stuff for the SKS, and they're essentially just accessories, so it doesn't cause a big, huge uproar, because at the time of recording, there is a lot of friction being put on the government right now for this gun ban, with the upcoming Supreme Court case. All the provinces, except a few, basically just saying they don't want to participate. They won't allocate resources. Police forces refusing. There is a lot of friction on this, and nobody really wants to touch this. I've been surprised before, but I wouldn't expect big, huge, sweeping bans. Again, I would just expect more of this small administrative stuff, especially as things creak forward to the Supreme Court case. It seems that they want to kind of be accelerationist about this, but also they have to play their cards smart, just because of the Supreme Court case that is pending, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. It's definitely a roll of the dice. There are a lot of people that seem very sure one way or another, but honestly, nobody really knows, and everybody is just kind of guessing. So that would be my prediction, is there's going to be some definitely more encroaching, but it's going to be fairly slow, and it's going to be administrative. That would be my guess. If it was a perfect world, nothing would happen. Everything would be struck down. They would just say, whoopsie daisies, we made a big mistake. But unfortunately, governments never work like that. They never ever want to capitulate, and they never want to admit that they were wrong. Usually everything is quietly and slowly rolled back if they make a mistake, but generally with gun laws and surveillance laws, it seems that any kind of retroactive rollback, it seems very, very rare. So as all of this stands right now, I wouldn't expect any good news into the lead up of the Supreme Court case being heard. So that would unfortunately be my take on this. So it's not all bad news on every front. So all of the articles that I pulled for this are from mainstream sources. So the narrative really has changed in the past 8 months. Even a year, 2 years ago, any of the mainstream sources were just carrying water for the Liberal Party. So the narrative really seems to be shifting. Every day it seems that more and more friction is added to this. More of the police forces are saying no. More of the provinces and territory are stepping up to add their own level of friction. Nobody is happy about this, even the people that initially were gung-ho on this, and really it's just entertaining to watch all of this unfold. If there's any good news in all of this, at the very least it's entertaining to watch all of this. So all of this is political theatrics for Quebec, and Gary said so on that leaked audio, but my closing notes is I'm proud of the community that I'm a part of. With something like a 3% compliance rate, all of the friction being added via the mainstream media or legal pressure or letter writing campaigns or provinces or everything. We've been given a really, really hard task. We've been expected to continue to fight this battle uphill, and we have. It's been 6 years. It's hard to imagine it's been 6 years of just constantly and endlessly fighting, but we did it, and hats off to every one of you listening to this, because we did it as a community. No matter how things shake out, nobody can say that we didn't try our best to fight. So thank you very much for everybody watching this. I hope that there's good news on the horizon. I hope that everybody has a fantastic day, and thank you for watching.